we're gonna do some. See if I have one. Now in this lesson, you have to take out your pen and paper and no, this is a book that is normally pitted against science, so to speak. All right? But we're not going to go against science right now. We're going to go, because it's good to know some science background. Right? Why don't I read?
Is that a grade school?
Sometimes the boards are not perfect. That's why. Also, what we're gonna do, most time when people read the scriptures and they go and they get some numbers, they overlook it. Right? But they are there for us to get some information time-wise, you know? Because the Bible says that Yeshua came at the right time. Right? So we're going to go to Genesis 5. Genesis 5 gave us something here. So it says, so we're going to use this information that have a lot of numbers in there to pinpoint some dates. That's general terms. It might be off. It might be off 100 or 200, maybe. But we just get a broad idea, right, of how we can determine from creation till now how many years it might be. Not counting what happened before or how long between, right? That's what the Bible gives us. All right, so in Genesis 5, it says, can someone read one? Let me see. 1 to 3 first. Then I'll put something on the board. Let me see if I can draw something. Yeah, go on.
This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that Elohim created man, he made him in the likeness of Elohim. Male and female, he created them, and he blessed them and called their name Adam, and in the day they were created. And Adam lived 130 years and brought forth a son in his own likeness after his image and called his name Shet.
All right, so I'm going to give you the principles, right? And if you have any question, we can ask questions, right? So it says, let me see if I can put another line. Let me put Adam. Adam first. So what we're gonna do, every time it mentions how old a patriarch is when he got the son, we're going to add those years together and see how much it comes to, right? So it's Adam was 130 years, all right? So we have, so right there we can say, what can we say about the 130 years in relation to time Adam was created? In other words then, how old was creation based on the Bible?
130 years.
130 years, right? Adam? Right. Are you following me? Benjamin, you have a question?
No. No.
Any question? We need some maths. We're going back to school. I know some of us didn't like maths when we were good.
Don't look at me.
So if we go by the Genesis story, Adam was created on the 6th day, right? And it says he was 130 years when he got Seth. So we're going to put Seth here. Not Cain and Abel now, because you know, one died and one went the wrong way, so we're not counting him. So he was 130, so how old was the earth, so to speak?
130 plus 1 day.
130. We're not going to call the week. Yeah, okay. 130. So we put 130. That's how we're doing it. We do it that way because sometimes father and son overlap. Or the son may live longer than the father, you know what I mean? When you take the birth of the son, and in those days they always outlive the parent until they reach a certain point. Okay, so it says, so keep reading now. Tell me now. So he had Seth.
And after he brought forth Seth, the days of Adam were 800 years.
Okay. So we're not going to count that right now. So we go to Seth now. We had Seth. And read the one with Seth now. Seth.
And he brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years.
All right. So they added the 800 plus the 130. You get the maths? So you give him 930 years. And he died. But Seth keep living. Right? All right. So Seth now.
And Seth lived 105 years and brought forth Enoch.
All right. So you have to put Seth 105. So when Seth was 105, he got who?
Enoch.
Is it E-N-O-S or E-N-O-C-H? That one.
Mine says E-N-O-S-H.
Oh, not Enos. Okay. All right. All right. So Seth. So it makes sense now, right? Look at it now. If Adam was 130 when he got Seth, and when Seth was 105, something happened. So right there now we see creation is now how many years old up to Seth, up to when. Right, you see? It's Adam, you see? It makes sense. Doesn't make any sense? Maths. But we're coming to something. We're going to Noah to see how old was the earth when the flood came. Alright. But we have to do this to get it. To show you when the Bible put things in the Bible. It's not just there for just to put numbers.
You said
Ask the question.
Adam lived 130 years?
And then God said, that 130 is not his total year that he lived in. When he was 130, he got Seth.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. And when Seth was 105, he got Enos.
Got you.
So I'm saying that's what we're doing going on the line. Yeah.
You dating the earth?
Yes.
Like that?
Yeah. Based on any other gap that's there. But we're going by the biblical record first. And we talk about what the scientists. The scientists have, just to give you a quick clue, when I learned in school, because I used to be in the mechanical engineering thing. And this is what they taught me, right? They have, let's read over here. Maybe some of you may know. In chemistry, they have, let me see what they use, let me see if I can remember. Carbon 18. Yes, sir, carbon 14.
Yes,
they use that as the standard for measuring how old something is.
Right.
I don't remember right now, but we did the experiment. I did the experiment, I was doubting the experiment. But I did use the experiment to, based on their understanding. Carbon 14, they usually go by half-life. They say the half-life, that means how many years it takes for carbon 14 content to drop half of its makeup, chemical makeup, right?
It becomes carbon 12.
I don't remember what.
Goes from carbon 14, it becomes carbon 12.
Right, so it's moving on to carbon 12. It takes a couple of years for that to happen, right? So, I don't remember how much, maybe you can look it up. How many years it says the half-life of carbon 14 is. Let's say they say, look it up for me. Let's look the half-life of carbon 14. We're learning something. This is so you know you can reason with evolutionists or somebody who don't believe in the Bible by having this information.
The half-life of carbon 14 is 5,730 years.
All right, 5,000. The half-life is 5,730 years. All right. So what they do now, the scientists, in human beings, let's use human beings, or any object out there, we all have carbon 14 in our body. So when we die, we're losing, is moving to carbon 12, or we keep going down. So when they test our body, they're looking for how much carbon is left. Right? And if they find a fraction, then they do the fraction to this, and they can say this person died 200 years ago. You know, by how much carbon is left in the body.
Right.
Comparing to this. Right? But this is also a theory. Because nobody lives 5,730 years actually to see if the carbon 14 is going to change to 12. No human being lives that long to say yes. You know, it's just an experiment. It's like you take an average of something and then you come up to. Because I remember when I was going to school, I had to use an imaginary line for 90 degrees. Remember that, maths? Yes. It's geometry. It's geometry.
Oh, yeah, so you're using a triangle.
Yeah.
You cross a vertex.
Yes, so the vertex, yeah, so when they're doing calculation, like for the plane moving off, they'll give you a question, the plane took off, so and so, what's the angle of the plane? You're not up in the sky to take no measurement, so you just have to imagine, say, okay, when he took off, that's 90 degrees to get the correct answer.
Right.
You know, they call it the imaginary line or the imaginary 90 degrees to get the answer. You know? So that's what they do to get that. But this is not foolproof. There are problems with it. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, they get some average time sometimes. We get an idea. You know?
Is that what they use to determine dinosaurs and all that?
Yeah, the same method. Yeah, and then,
I mean,
and they would have millions of years.
Mm-hmm.
But as we say one, all right, I come into your question so far. So let's say the science was there when Adam was created. Remember, Adam wasn't born, he was created full. So they're going to test him to see how old he was, how old he is. Let's say it existed back then. And we know Adam is 1 year old, or let's say 130. When they do that common test, how old do you think he's going to be? He's going to be more than 130, based on what they have, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what's in the body, they're not going to get 130. Right away they might be thinking, this guy may be born, maybe 130, but he's a big man, you know? So he was fully formed, and the earth was fully formed when God created it. The trees, all they used to measure trees.
Rings.
Huh? Yes, the rings. Every year the rings in the trees, when they cut it, you see that ring? So if they should go in creation, if somebody was there in our time or in the creation and measure a tree to tell the age, you could not say that tree is just 1 week old. It's going to say this tree
fully
is
grown tree.
thousands of years because of the tree is fully formed. It has many rings. So I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
now I wanted to share something with regards to carbon 14 deficiency.
Yeah.
Is that whenever you're going to apply the formula, at the very end there's several assumptions that have to be done.
Of course.
And one very important assumption is the rate of decomposition
Right.
of carbon 14 to 12. Today you can observe it to how it's coming, like the half-life you see there. But here's one thing with carbon 14, it's very sensitive to heat.
Yes.
And when exposed to heat, it decomposes faster. And so when you go about and you look at these fossils that they are dating, what's the first thing you learn about fossils? Is that they have this covering made of ashes,
Yes.
volcanic ashes. Volcanic ashes, when they were spreading on the animal, there would have been a lot of heat.
Yes.
So the very same thing that that fails them is because the sense that it's sensitive to heat, they have to assume another rate. So the question is, where do they get that assumption of that rate? Because it's supposed to be a science, but this is what they do. The geologists have divided the earth stratum into different layers,
Yes.
and they have dated those layers. How they have dated that? Based on speculation. Also, guesses. So let's say you find a bone on the third layer, and that layer is supposed to be dated between 50,000 to 150,000. Well, guess what? That bone is going to be dated around that date.
Yes.
Because they're going to recall that the bone was found in this layer, and geologically this is the layer for this layer. Then it becomes a circular argument. How do you know that this is correct? That the bone was dated correctly? Oh, because it was found here. How do you know that that was correct? Because the bone matches.
Of course
It's the
gonna
most
match.
silly. It's the most silly thing.
Yeah, you were saying something?
I was just saying, of course it's gonna match if it was found in that layer.
Yes. Right, of course. So we're learning science and things. Okay, so let's get back now.
And by just one thing, by the way,
Yeah.
that's why none of these dating systems have ever been used in a court of law.
Yes.
For that same reason.
Right.
Because if you're going to make a point, a criminalized point on that, any scientist is going to come and destroy it.
Right. Okay, now so Seth was 105 and he got Enos. Alright, so continue reading.
And after he brought forth Enoch, Seth lived 807 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 90 years.
Alright, so 90. So Enos now is 90 and he's going to have somebody.
And brought
Alright, so we're
forth
going to have the
Canaan.
90. Uh-huh.
And brought forth Canaan.
Canaan. C-A-I-N-A-N. This is not the same Canaan. A different one. Alright.
And after he brought forth Canaan, Enoch lived 815 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 905 years, and he died. And
Right.
Canaan lived 70 years and brought forth Mahalalel.
So you have to add the 70. Are you following me? Keep adding the alright, Canaan lived 70 and he got somebody. Okay, go.
And brought forth Mahalalel.
Mahalalel. Okay, Maha. Whatever that is.
And after he brought forth Mahalalel, Canaan lived 840 years and brought forth sons
910.
and daughters.
Uh-huh.
So all the days of Canaan were 910 years,
Uh-huh.
and he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years
Okay, so he lived 65.
and
Uh-huh.
brought forth Yared.
Jared, Yared, yeah. Let's put the Hebrew. Yared.
And after he brought forth Yared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. And Yared lived 162 years and brought forth Enoch.
Alright, so Yared lived 162 and he has Enoch now. I think this is a CH Enoch. But I don't think this is the Enoch. That was
I have
translated.
H-A-N-O-K.
Huh?
H-A-N-O-K.
Hanok?
Yes,
Oh, Hanok.
H-A-N-O-K.
Oh, N-O-K, yes, CH can work. Alright.
And after he brought forth Enoch, Yared lived 800 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Yared were 962 years,
So the
and he
people living
died.
long.
And Enoch,
962? Is
962, yes.
Oh yeah, so he was close to Adam. Adam was 969. So you see? Yeah.
962. And Enoch lived 65 years and brought forth Methuselah.
Alright, 65. Now we're coming to Noah soon. Methuselah.
And after he brought forth Methuselah, Enoch walked with Elohim 300 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with Elohim, then he was no more, for Elohim took him. And Methuselah lived 187 years and brought forth
187, okay. And he
and
got
brought
who?
forth Lamech.
Lamech. All right. I think he's the grandson of Noah, I think.
Grandfather.
Huh?
Grandfather.
Grandfather? Okay.
And after he brought forth Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and brought forth sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years.
Oh, yeah,
and he
Methuselah lived
died.
969. Yeah, okay.
And Lamech lived 182 years and brought forth a son,
182.
and called his name Noah,
No.
saying, This one does comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because of the ground which Yah has cursed.
All right. So so we reach Noah. Lamech 182, and Noah was born. So we can find out right here, if we add these up, we can find out the year Noah was born. But we want to go to the flood. So the Bible says in Genesis 6 now, Noah was it the same spot?
No, it's 6.
Okay, we can put it in. Noah was 500 years old when he had his all three sons together. So we can put it. But we're gonna put flood here now. How old was Noah when the flood came? I think it was
6.
600.
600?
So it's got to be another 100 years after. So that's 100. All right, so we see now. Okay, so we go quick.
I have, do you want the date?
Huh?
Do you want the date?
Yeah.
I have 1656.
Yes, that's correct. You get 1657. All right, no problem. We're going to be off a little.
No, I got 1656.
56.
56. Okay. Yes. 1656 is agreed number by most scholars. I see how we did it ourselves. We didn't use no scholars, we used the Bible. But most scholars agree that the flood came in the year 1656. 1656 after Adam creation, the flood came upon the earth. That's why most people, you will hear they say, we're not going to finish now.
Don't, oh.
No, that's this part here. Most people, you'll hear they say, and they just run it off, they just round it off, that from the time of creation to the flood is about 2,000 years. They just run it off. But they're off by 300 or something. But they just say 2,000, you know, but it's actually 1656. So that's why you cannot listen to those people who are trying to predict Jesus is coming and give you a date. Yeah, Jesus is coming 6,000 in the 6,000 years, because it's not actually quite